Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Wednesday edition of the Computer America Show. And if you're watching us on our live computer video streaming page, brought to you by Other World Computing, you'll notice the strange gentleman here to my left, Charles Tendell. He's back.
Oh, there wasn't anybody to my left, so I didn't know what was going on.
Charles is back from the Black Hat, and hey, Charles, welcome back.
Thank you.
You were missed, okay. And of course, the lovely person you're seeing in the middle there is Sandy Berger, our consumer electronics expert.
3 minutes until showtime.
And we got some great things to talk about tonight, and we're looking forward to it. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and we'll be starting in about 3.5 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your captain speaking. We're going to leave you at the gate here and not allow you to fly anywhere.
Exactly.
Good luck with that customer service, folks. Have a good day. Wow. How have people been dealing with the new IRC chat room?
Everybody loves it. To this, everybody has just lovely things to say about it. Everybody loves it, and so I think that
Yeah, I won't be in the chat room tonight, so keep me posted if anybody asks me a question or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to be in the chat room, yeah? Okay.
No, because my computer is slowing down a little bit, and I want to keep it so that I don't get lost here.
I understand.
Oh, we're going to talk about UMA.
Yes, we are. We got some new things. So. I'm sorry that fell through, man. I mean, I did everything but beg. I almost came to begging them, and they're not responding to me anymore. I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea what's going on.
They're like, oh,
At
it's
UMA?
just a Crossman guy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Do they still talk to you?
Yeah, they sent me all this stuff.
Yeah, I know. This is weird. I have no idea. I cannot. All my contact people that I had are gone, or they're just not responding, and I put in countless calls. So I don't know what's going on there.
So now that I don't need Craig anymore, Sandy.
I'll be your best friend.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I gotta check my Bitcoin.
Ah, yes.
The coin of bit.
Coin a bit. A bit of coin.
A bit of.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm some random guy that Craig picked up off the street out in Vegas.
Charles! Charles is back.
See, nobody recognizes me because I have the beard. Which I absolutely have to shave because I've got to be on... Oh, no, wait, I don't have to shave. I've got to be on the radio again tomorrow morning on a local radio station, so I don't have to shave. It's radio.
Oh, you're just so popular these days.
You have no idea.
You're appearing everywhere. I mean,
I'm appearing everywhere but here. Wait a minute, what's going on?
But you are back, and so that's what counts. And of course, you were out at Black Hat, and and I'm sure you have plenty of stories to tell us, and we'll certainly listen to them. I think what we'll do is, in the next couple of days when we have the second hour of the show available to do computer news. Matter of fact, I think tomorrow is one of them, and Friday we'll have plenty of time to talk about some of the things that you saw at Black Hat, and so we'll.
The one you should be more interested in is this one.
Yes, the infamous Black Hat tag.
No, this is the DEF CON badge. The infamous DEF CON badge.
Yeah. And they do all kinds of strange things with them, right? Yeah, you have
actually, this year, a buddy of mine and we actually hacked it. So here, I've got to find my other battery if I could find it. But it blinks. It's like LED lights on it, and it's actually a programmable board. So we were sitting around bored, and we decided, you know what? We're going to reprogram this thing. So we actually reprogrammed it to blink in Morse code, the name of my company.
Wow, very cool. Very cool. Well, again, there's some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about in the upcoming shows as well. And is it blinking now? Okay.
Oh wait, maybe.
I can't see.
I broke the badge.
Anyhow, if you have a comment or question or suggestion, you can give us a call at 347-884-8881. I'll get you on, get you through. Email live@computeramerica.com. Our live interactive chat room, our IRC chat room from our homepage at computeramerica.com. Just put in a nickname. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there. Click the login button, and your browser, will move you into the Computer America chat room. No Java needed. Yes, exactly. No Java needed. And if you have Chatzilla, you get some additional functionality. But it's available to everyone, and it's the one that we're going to be using for at least for the immediate future. Let's see what else. Of course, you can also watch us on a live interactive live Computer America video streaming page. It's brought to you by Other World Computing, quality products, expert support since 1988. Now celebrating their 25th anniversary. Please visit them at www.macsales.com. Yeah, Charles, I'm actually going to talk to you about this. Probably not tonight, but they've got something brand new. And I'm just from Mac Sales. Yeah, exactly. I just saw it and just read about it. And this is something that I know you're going to be really interested in. I'll just give you. They're calling it their headless mini video accelerator. And it's just so cool. And it's $19. I can't believe. But this is very interesting, and I'm going to tell you about it, and I want to kind of see what your reaction is, because it does something very interesting with your Mac Mini. So definitely talk about that later on.
Oh, the suspense is killing me.
Yes, I know. Anyway, so I think at this point we're just going to get started, and now you see my camera just blinked out for a moment. I don't know why, but it seems to be there. So anyhow, let's see. Okay, there we are. We're back. Okay, so let's introduce our guest tonight, and anybody who listens to our show knows that she appears usually here on the second, or is it the third? The third Wednesday, the second Wednesday of every month. Okay.
We really don't know. She just shows up here. And
right.
Sandy Berger is a consumer electronics expert, well versed in things like printers, cell phones, digital cameras, you name it. She knows about it. Her website is CompuKiss.com, and Sandy is one of our regular Computer America correspondents who appears here on the show on every second Wednesday of the month. Sandy, welcome to Computer America. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Craig.
Yeah, and now you can see Sandy and watch her on our live Computer America video streaming page. Charles is up, I'm up, she's up there, so you can actually watch the show. And it's shows like this where it really it helps to watch, because sometimes we point things out. But in addition to that, what we do with Sandy is Sandy gives us a cheat sheet. No, we call it a cheat sheet. Basically, it's a Word document that has all the things that we're going to be talking about tonight. So if you go to our show notes page at computeramerica.com, you'll see today's show, which is August the 13th. And you'll see Sandy there with the CompuKiss. There's a link there. But also underneath the descriptive paragraph, is a link that says Cheat Notes, and if you click that, it'll open up a Google Docs document, and you'll see everything we're going to be talking about tonight. But not only there's pictures up there, there's pricing information, there's description, and most importantly, there are links in that document as well, so you can actually link to the page and the items and the articles that we're going to be talking about tonight. It just makes the show a more how should I say, inclusive production where you can actually follow along with us. And the other thing I just want to mention about Sandy, I always do this in every show that she appears on, and it's important that Sandy is here in an editorial capacity. That means she picks these items that she wants to talk about, and she's going to tell you what she really thinks about it, whether she likes it, and she'll tell you why, and if she doesn't like it, she's going to tell you that too, and why. So everything.
Sandy, did you ever consider being a therapist?
Yeah. And so we'll get you get the real scoop from her, and we really enjoy that. It's completely editorial. Her appearance here is completely editorial, and we really enjoy that. So so those things said, let's get started tonight because we have a lot of things to talk about. And I'm going to make a case for this first one because it is, in fact, a case. Casemaker Pro.
Whoa, whoa. He started right out with a little zinger there.
See what I did? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Casemaker Pro iPhone.
Way to be creative there, Craig.
Personalization kit for 5 and the iPhone 5S. This looks kind of interesting. I was looking at it, but tell us about this.
Well, it's kind of a low-tech solution because what it is it's called Casemaker Pro, and it's a device that actually will cut out a picture the right size for your iPhone, for the back of your iPhone. So basically, it's like a 3-hole paper punch. You take a picture and you slide it in, and you press down on it just like you would press down on a paper punch, and out pops the cutout, which is absolutely perfectly, cut for your iPhone. And it's really pretty cool. I'm going to show you the case that I made, although the picture might not show really well. But that's a case, if anybody's on Google Hangout,
cool.
They can see. You can put any picture you have in there. And it's after you cut out the picture, then you put it into the case, which has a nice plastic cover and a surround, so that your iPhone's fairly well protected. And on top of that, it gives it a nice glossy finish. Now that allows you to also use newspaper clippings, magazines, comic books, whatever you want. You can cut out for the back of your phone.
Did I see that again? Hold it up to the camera again.
Okay, hold it up to the camera again.
This
is a picture of a lazy river that I like to go down.
Oh, check that out.
Yeah, look at that. And it covers the whole phone and leaves the...
Covers the whole phone. And of course, you could put one this vertically or horizontally, depending on what your picture looks like.
Very, very nice. And what does something like that cost?
It's $49 on Amazon. And I think it's a little bit pricey, but yet the idea here is that you can use it over and over again. So if you're artistic or even maybe just sentimental, say you want to have a picture of all the kids, or one kid one day, the dog the next, whatever, you can change this out every day if you like. And it doesn't cost anything extra, which is really pretty cool. If you were to buy a case for every time you wanted to put a new picture in, it would get pretty pricey. So this is something that I give a thumbs up to, but it's not for everyone. There's certain people who would like this.
Like what? You mean kids or adults or? Well,
as an adult, I like it. I like things that are customizable and colorful, and I'm the kind of person that moves the furniture around every other week or something like that. So if you're that type of person, you will probably like something like this.
All right, and again, it's available at Amazon for $49.99, right. And also we have a link to the website in the cheat notes, so you can see it for it's a company called
Interworks. Interworks is the name of the company that is representing them.
Yeah, oh, right, because the Interworks actually makes a number of interesting products that I was looking at their website.
They do. I mean, they've got USB batteries. I mean, regular batteries, like rechargeable batteries that you can recharge through the USB. They've got a lot of kind of neat things on that website.
AA battery, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A Bluetooth wireless photo shot. You know, I mean, they have a with a little remote control. It's interesting. But their first product up here is the CaseMaker Pro.
And that's the one they sent me, and like I said, it's a bit old-fashioned because the device itself is not at all high-tech. I mean, you're actually pressing down on it to make it do the cut. So it's probably really old technology if you look at it that way, and yet it's very useful.
There you go. Okay. Well, if you're looking for something that's you know, doesn't break the bank, and but it's something for a high-tech device, but it itself is not really a high-tech device, but complements it nicely. I mean, the image that I'm seeing on your phone looks very, very nice. You know, something you want to check out. And again, it's for the iPhone 5 and 5S. Was that a 5 or an iPhone 5 I was looking at, or a 5S that you showed?
That's an iPhone 5.
Okay, iPhone 5. All right.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the iPhone 6 to come out.
Yeah, we've got a whole slew of possible specs on that thing. Craig can't get one because it doesn't come out in gold.
You don't know that yet. You don't know that yet. They might come out with a gold one.
If they do, it will not be available in Craig's area, guaranteed.
That's right. I'm not worried, you know. And I plan to waterfall that phone down to one of my sons, and he can have that because he has a really old iPhone. And
you mean waterfall the 6-month-old iPhone?
Yeah, to him.
Because it's so old.
He's got a 3G phone, iPhone 5. You know, and I think it's about time he needs to get up to.
Yeah, but he moved up from a jitterbug, right?
No, that was my other son. That's Ben.
The other son. Okay.
Ben has a 5S.
I thought he had a good one. Yeah.
He did have he had a 4S, and then he
got run over or something.
No, that was the 5S got run over. But the 4S.
I can't follow you. All these phones.
All these phones. Yeah, exactly. No, they had an update. He was due for an update, so I updated him. But that was a gotcha. I didn't realize that when I updated his phone, he'd got his service jumped from $15 a month to $40 a month on that plan. They really stuck it to me on that one, and there was nothing I could do, you know. So anyhow, but anyway, he has a new phone, and then the truck ran over it, and he had to fix it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We won't go there.
No.
One other thing I want to say about this case is that it's well made and it's slick. By that I mean it will slide in your pocket easily. So many of these cases like this have a lot of padding. This does not have a lot of padding. It offers just minimal protection, but it will slide in and out of your pocket easily, and that's important to some people.
Okay, there you go. All right, well then we're going to move on to this next one. This is made by a company called Konnet, Konnet. Vision Protective Shield for smartphones and tablets, and this is a review now. I guess there are all kinds of shields out there. This is a little different. This is kind of interesting. Tell us about this.
Well, this is all about blue light, and if you've got the show notes, I just wrote a little article for CompuKiss on blue light because I've just started investigating it. The devices that we use today, be it computers, smartphones, tablets, whatever, they emit a lot more blue light than any other color.
Oh, what's wrong with blue? I like blue.
Yeah, except they're finding now that blue light is bad for your eyes. Okay, really? Now I've been following this quite a bit, and it sounds logical if you think about it, because you know how tired your eyes get after looking at the computer screen all the time? This blue light is part of that because it goes into the back of your eye. It's one of the longest wavelengths. Goes to the back of the eye and constantly makes you refocus. And now they're saying that refocusing that you're doing all the time is something that's eventually going to cause macular degeneration and other eye problems. And this, of course, is a big thing for kids. bad enough that your eyes get bad when you're older, but you don't want them to get bad when you're younger. So there's a lot of things coming out right now. I've also had a company that's offering me some glasses that, computer glasses that you can put on and wear, and they eliminate the blue waves. So you'll be hearing more and more about this, and I'll be following it more. But this particular chronic problem product is something that is a shield for your phone or for your tablet. So, you know, just like those shields that you put on so you don't scratch the cover or scratch the screen, it's exactly like that. It comes in an envelope, and you take it out, and you peel off the backing, and you place it on. Now, I am not very good at doing that for some reason. I've never liked screen protectors. And this one gave me a lot of trouble when I tried to put it on my iPhone. It went very easily. No, it went very easily on my iPhone. But when I tried to put it on my iPad, I got a bunch of little bubbles in back of it, and they gave you a little squeegee that you were supposed to get the bubbles out with. Well, long story short, it took me less than 5 minutes to put the screen protector on, but it took me an hour to get the bubbles out. And I didn't get all the bubbles out, so I wasn't really happy with that. However,
were you able to remove it? I mean, you know.
Yeah, you can remove it quite easily.
Okay, all right.
So, and it doesn't look any different. Although, if you hold it up to the light when it comes in the package, you'll see it has a slight yellow tint to it. But when you put it on the iPhone or iPad, or your Android phone, whatever you put it on, I didn't notice any difference in the coloration at all. The screen colors, everything looked approximately the same to me. But they gave they also sent me a little blue light. I don't want to. This is the blue light.
Okay.
I can't really turn it on and put it toward the camera, but anyway, that was their little test thing to show you that it actually did something. And this was their demo.
So when you turn the flashlight on and then you put the screen over the flashlight, what happens? The light disappears?
Well, what they sent for demo was a picture of a girl, and if you take this blue light, this little blue light, and you put it on the girl's face, it'll create a dark spot. But if you put it through the protective lens, it won't create a spot. And they never did really explain to me what it was doing. So I've got questions on this whole blue light thing. I'm going to be investigating it a lot further. But I do think that from what I've read that there is definitely something to this.
Maybe next time when we get an eye checkup, I'll ask my eye doctor. You know. Hey,
yeah, I think I will. I will ask a few people in that field and see what the contention is that everybody thinks about it.
Well, I know you should never look into a blue laser, but
that's true. That's true. Well, when you think about it, things like this happen all the time. For instance, when you were a kid, you probably went out and played in the sun without having second thoughts about it. Then, 20 or 30 years later, they say, oh, there's UVA, UVB, you shouldn't be out without sun protection. And
then it's too late.
Then it's too late. And so that's what they're trying to avoid with this. They're trying to come out and say, okay, some of us have been using these devices for quite a long time. But still, they're trying to say, okay, it's time to do something about it. And the really funny thing is that I had a pair of computer glasses that were very, very similar to what they're making now a good 15 years ago. I had a company who made them, and I really loved them because my eyes didn't get as tired. And they didn't talk about blue light at that time, but that's what these glasses were. And then I had another company that I also worked with, and both of those companies went out of business. But that was 15 years ago. They were before their time. So now that there's research out there to back up what they were saying way back when, some other companies are unfortunately making hay off of it.
Yeah. For being ahead of your time, I guess. It's,
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you hear all kinds of things. I mean, there was a time when holding up a cell phone to your head could cause tumors. I mean,
right.
then it fades away. I mean, did they ever resolve that, or is that do we still know to this
No,
day?
there's still people to this day that believe that it causes that, but I have not read any definitive studies or anything that actually show it causes cancer or causes anything else. Now, maybe 10 or 15 years from now, they're going to come up with something. It's just like everything else in the health industry. Remember, they told you that eggs were no good for you for a long time.
Yes,
they said eggs had too much cholesterol. You shouldn't eat eggs.
Yeah.
Well, now they're saying eggs are good for you again.
I know. I heard about that. I said, oh my. Well, fortunately with eggs, at least I didn't listen to them because I've always eaten eggs. I really enjoy them. But
nom nom nom.
Exactly. I mean, it's just strange. I mean, I can think of numerous examples of that where you hear something like margarine. It's supposed to be the best thing for you, and now trans fats. Margarine was actually really bad for you, and if you just stuck to butter, which was it, and turns out the butter. It seems like the natural things that we find tend to be good.
That's true, and also anything in moderation seems to be okay. It's like when you eat too much butter or too many eggs or whatever, that it might be bad for you. However, when you're talking about computer screens, if that's your job, like you and I, and you're sitting in front of a computer screen all day, or a tablet, or a cell phone, then you can't say, "Oh, I'm going to cut back on this," right?
Yeah, Jack in the chat room says he remembers when cigarettes were advertised as being good for you.
That's right. That's right.
And
the Marlboro Man told you so.
The Marlboro Man, yeah, I remember the Marlboro Man, and yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I meant to hit the button, but apparently I missed.
And you sneezed all over your brand new mic.
Sure, I'm glad I'm not there, Charles.
It's all over my phone.
But really, I think Charles is old enough to remember the cigarettes when they advertised and they were saying were good for you. You remember the Marlboro Man, or are you too young for that?
I remember the Marlboro Man. I remember what was the camel's name?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember those guys. And
I remember the camel. I didn't know if he had a name.
Yeah, he had a name. I can't remember what his name was, but it was one of those things where everybody was encouraged to do so. Now, here's an interesting tidbit. Did you know up until the early 80s, MREs actually came with cigarettes in them? Like, really? The Army rations actually came with cigarettes in them.
Oh, yeah. I think I knew that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, we're not encouraging a bad habit that will eventually give you cancer, but here.
Was that meals ready to eat or something? MRE? Is that what that's?
Yeah, exactly. Meal ready to eat individual.
Yeah, individual. Yeah. So that would be Miri. But Joe Camel.
There you go,
Joe Camel. Yeah, you're right.
Thanks to Jonathan in the chat room.
Thanks, Jonathan.
It just shows that Jonathan has no life.
No, he's got a good memory. He trumped mine. There you go.
Well, Jonathan says Bear used to sell bottles of heroin. I don't know if that was true. I know, but I do know Coca-Cola used to have cocaine in it. So that's
cocaine.
Cocaine, yeah. Exactly.
It wasn't cocaine. It wasn't the stuff you think it was.
No.
It was actually the coca plant that they inevitably make cocaine from.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't the same. Yeah, I think
yep.
You're right.
Well, as I said, there are a lot of products like that, and of course we hear that it's actually the best. I mean, remember the Woody Allen movie where Sleeper, and he was smoking, and because they said no, it turned out it was the best thing for you. I don't remember if you remember that movie, but yeah, it seems like so many of the things that there are objections for, then years later we find out that that they were wrong. Yeah.
Right.
And we're probably subject to that again. I mean, we don't know everything today.
Mm-hmm.
So many things we find out.
Well, Sandy and I know everything.
Between us, we cover a lot.
Except for what my password is. That seems to be evading me.
What was that line that Tom Cruise? He says, "Yeah, me and my brother, we know everything." And so the little girl says, "Well, what's the capital of Australia?" He says, "That's what my brother knows."
Yeah. Right.
So, there you go.
Well, this blue light stuff, I must say, the research that I've looked at indicates that it is something to be wary of. So.
Well, I mean, it's again one of those things where it's going to be bad for us now, but what's it going to be tomorrow? You know, it's I don't know, man. I see all the stuff for the organic stuff, and yes, I think we should be eating more organic stuff, and we're generally moving that direction in my family. But it's you have to look at, like, blue light. It's going to sell products for these devices that are going to prevent blue light and all this other stuff, and I'm just like,
well, somebody's.
It's one of my favorite. Actually, blue I think is my favorite color. Actually, of all the colors, blue's beautiful to look at. And now I can't look at anything blue. I mean, you know how many blue lights I have surrounding me right now?
You mean like the ones right above your head?
No, but I mean, yeah, there's blue. I mean, my UMA has blue lights. My CyberPower backup power supply has a big blue light on it. My desk clock has blue LED. I mean, there's blue everywhere here. So.
I think we're talking bigger blue than that, though.
Bigger blue?
Big blue.
Yes, big blue. Okay.
Well, it's interesting because we can translate that right into the new light bulbs and things like that. So we'll maybe do a future show on some of that stuff, which is very interesting.
I'd love to do that because that's an interesting topic. I'm with LED lighting, and I think of it being the lighting of the future, and definitely we should talk about that. Anyway, the Connect Video Protective Shields, there are different sizes. They retail from $19.99 to what?
$29.99.
Depending upon the size, is that it?
On the size or the device, and I could not really calculate that out because the price for the iPad Mini was more expensive than it was the price for one of the bigger devices, so it was not necessarily size. I don't know what it was.
Maybe the iPad Mini has more blue light coming out, and they had to put more filtration in it. Who knows?
Well, actually, the iPad Air has more blue light than previous versions of the iPad.
Really?
How do you think I got to be this dark, Craig? That's what happened. It's me hanging out with my,
Okay.
Well, there is some interesting things about that.
Yes.
All right. We'll let it go at that.
I think we should. Yes, exactly. You're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. Sandy Berger is here with us. We're talking about all these interesting devices that she finds, and again, you can look at all of them. Just go to our show notes page at computeramerica.com and click on the cheat notes link, and you can see everything that we're talking about. Some of the things we're going to be talking about a little later on in the show. We're going to talk about some of her articles. One of them called "The Internet of Things" is coming quickly, and you will be using digital payments soon. We've got some interesting stories coming up here. We're going to be talking about smartwatches. And a whole new line of products from UMA, a company which I absolutely love their products. So those are all coming up. We're going to take a quick break. We have a new News Tips Bulletin review from Marty Winston. You'll be hearing that as well. You're listening to the Computer America Show. We're going to be back just in a few moments. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No Hair Removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No Hair Removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
You're going to like this one. This is Marty Winston for Computer America with a News Tips Bulletin Review of Thinnium Charge. Now, a box of chiclets is bigger than a Thinnium Charge, at least at first. It has a flat front and back and rounded edges, so this gizmo looks unassuming, but its DNA is part transformer. At the bottom on the back is a little square that says push, and when you do, an upward-facing micro USB port steps forward, just begging to go into your handset's charging port. You can charge it from USB with a tucked-in saluting hand connector on a cable that's stowed in the top right, but there's an even cooler trick on hand. The back has some AC prongs you flip down. They never quite reach a right angle, so you get a spiffy slanted easel. You have a complete 1-amp USB charger that's a small and slim, so small and slim, you'll always have room in whatever you're carrying to slide it inside. Bottom line, Thinnium Charge takes the concept of a wall-wart charger and knocks it flat. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Doesn't matter how long I've been gone, it still sounds like he's dialing into my brain. But welcome back, and thank you, Marty. That one was actually pretty cool. We could have used some of those on the last trip. It would have been really neat.
Do you remember a box of chiclets? I don't think they even have chiclet boxes like they used to, do they?
I don't think anybody... do they even make chiclets anymore?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think... I don't know.
Keep dating ourselves.
I don't think they make chiclets anymore. Anyway... Welcome back to the Computer America Show. We are 33 minutes after the hour in the first hour with our consumer electronics expert, Sandy Berger. We're talking about all kinds of fun stuff. And yeah, if you want to get in on this conversation, give us a call. 347-884-8881 will get you on and get you through. That number again, 347-884-8881. Or shoot us an email live at computeramerica.com. Or you can join us over on computeramerica.com in the chat room page right there at the bottom. We got our live IRC chat room. I'm there. The NSA has been following me for several years now, so I'm comfortable with them. You know, Sandy's not there, but actually I think Sandy might be this guest and just isn't telling us.
No, she's not.
Craig's there. You know, guys, get into the conversation and have some stuff, have some fun. And you know, actually, you know, Sandy is giving her tech therapist hour. So you know, you can come and
Right.
ask questions. And if you have a device that just isn't behaving correctly, and it needs a little coaching, I would say, you know, get a hold of Sandy and she can walk you through your device problems.
All right.
Sad device. You set the sad device on the couch and be like, now why are you broken?
Exactly. I'd be very good at that.
See?
Jonathan in the chat room says that he thinks he's seen a chiclets at a local store there.
No. Jonathan, we call those bodegas. just so you know, just saying. You can tell because it's got really old products. Okay, nobody actually goes there.
Yeah, I mean, chiclets had that little shell around them. You know, they were like rectangular, but rounded rectangular shape, and then they were good. But I can't remember the last time I ever saw. You know, I mean, they have all this modern gum and things. You know, they have all these really unusual shapes and everything. But I haven't seen chiclets around. Yeah. Anyway, Sandy Berger's talking about is, you know, I want to get into this this next one because it has to deal with the smartwatch technology. Now, I've there are rumors and rumors that Apple may, introduce a smartwatch with the iPhone 6. Some people had confirmed it, and now I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard any rumblings about Apple getting ready to introduce an iWatch.
Well, what they're saying now is that it's been delayed. At least that's what I'm hearing. They were expecting it to come out in September with the iPhone 6, and now they're saying they don't think it's... Of course, Apple is pretty closed-mouthed about stuff like that, so you never know what will happen.
Yep.
Do you think the delay might just be because of the materials that they have, or do you think it's the technology that's holding them up? Or,
I would guess on technology rather than materials, but that would just be a guess.
Okay. Well, I've sort of gone on record. One of the smartwatches that I really like is the Moto
360.
Yeah. It's a round smartwatch, and it looks very, very slick. And I always said that, if I had to go with a smartwatch, it looks like I might go for that. But in the meantime, I couldn't be without a watch anymore. I don't know if you can see, but this is my current watch that I'm wearing now. This is what I actually had for quite.
Oh my God, Craig! It's got a crack in it.
No, yeah.
What is that? It's got a crack in the face of it.
So I couldn't go without a watch for much longer. And it turns out I had this watch sitting in a box for years. It was my dress watch. So I pulled it out and got to put a new battery in it, and it's serving me well. I mean, it has it has an analog and a digital display underneath that tells you the day and the month, and then the time and everything. So it's really nice. So at least I had that, and I figured I'll wear this until if I see something coming nice from Apple.
Well, the watch you have on it doesn't do things like play music.
No, it doesn't.
Telephone calls. No, it doesn't vibrate like mine.
No, it does not.
All right.
All right. Okay. Well,
which one do you have?
Yeah,
it's called the Moda G2 Pro, and let's see. I'll take it off and see if you guys can see it.
Okay.
That's it. All right. Let's see.
When it's on, there we go.
Okay. Look at that. Isn't that nice? A very easy to read display.
Very easy to read. My problem is that when I have it on my wrist,
that way,
it's always this way, and then I have to decide which way I'm gonna be looking at it.
How does it fit? You have the small one or the meat? There's only two sizes. You have which size is that?
I believe I have the small one, and I have a very small wrist. There's some stretch in it. You can
put it on your wrist.
Easy to take on and off.
Okay, yeah. It's a 7mm or 7.5mm, I think, is what they are. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's 7-inch or 7.5 inch if you go by bracelet size.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So it's a slick-looking little watch, and now it works with both Android and iOS.
That's the beauty of it, and there's two versions. There's the light version and the Pro version. The Pro version also works with Windows phones.
Okay.
Which is a very nice feature.
All right, now let's talk about this watch, and just give us the overview and what makes, and just start from the beginning and go with it.
I think the thing that I am most impressed with is that it works with Siri and it works with Google.
Okay.
Google Now, so you can talk to it and give it commands and things like that. Now, I tried it with both; works fine. I did not try it with. Why do I always forget the girl's name that the Windows phone? Cortana. It doesn't. It's supposed to work with Cortana, but I haven't tried that yet. So.
Now, what do you mean? Like it works? Like you can push the button on the watch and be like, okay, Siri, find me the closest Burger King.
Right. There's two buttons on the watch, and the bottom button, you just press it twice, and you say whatever you want to say. Siri, get me directions, take me home, whatever. And it connects to your phone. And of course, now, some things you're asking Siri or Google Now a question, and you're getting an answer verbally, but you're getting more information on the screen. And in this case, you can't see the more information on the screen. You just hear her verbal answer. Okay. Still very useful.
Now, what do you see on the screen? It looks like you see it looks like the time.
Yeah, you see the time, and it's got various little things here to to make other indications. For instance, when I connected it by Bluetooth, it had a little Bluetooth indicator on it and various things like that. But, you know, to be honest with you, I don't know that I'm really excited about wearing a watch like this.
Okay, and why?
The one place for a woman that it comes in very handy is if you just drop your phone in your pocketbook and it drops to the bottom and you're scrambling to find it. Then it's easier to answer your phone with a watch.
What kind of audio? Is it good audio? I mean, do you have to have a headset or does
yeah. No. It's got a microphone. You can't really see it. It's got
little holes in there.
Little holes for the speaker, and on the bottom it's got little holes for the microphone. And the sound was decent. You can play music through it, and you know, it's decent. It's not the greatest. In other words, you're not going to get the same quality as you would talking through your phone.
Okay. But I guess it's sort of like a speakerphone then when you're...
Right. And I think, you know, when we talked about Apple, and there is a lot of technology to put together a phone like this, and that's why when you asked me, do I think, you know, that the supply is what's holding them up or the technology, I'd say it might be the technology, because Apple really doesn't like to bring out something unless it's completely done, you know, unless they have it just where they want it. And there's a lot of technology in something like this because, of course, you've got to put the speakers and the microphone and everything, make it sound good. And this does a decent job for $79. The fact that it works with 3 different types of phones and plays music and answers calls and all that it makes it a worthwhile purchase if you're interested in something like this.
Now the same watch will work with all 3. You don't have a model for this and a model for that. No, it's all.
No, as long as you buy the Pro model.
Okay, so what if you don't buy the Pro model? Then what is it? What happens?
It's the Lite model. Let me see if I can see what's in the Lite model. The Lite model does some Siri. I think it does Siri, but not Google Now or one of those. It doesn't have the caller name, so you would see the caller name, and it doesn't work with Windows 8 phones, and it doesn't have NFC.
Okay, so the Pro and so the Pro version sounds like that's what you meant. That's how much was it? $78?
Yeah, that was a price that I saw on the website. I hope I got that right.
Okay, all right.
It's a good price.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all Apple iPhones, all Samsung Galaxy models, all Bluetooth-enabled phones. So it seems to be quite complete. Now, what about the battery? How long do you have to charge it, and how long does it last?
I have not run out of battery power on it, although I've charged it every evening that I've had it on.
What kind of charger? Does it have a stand for the charger, or do you just?
You just plug it. It just comes with a USB charger, and it's got a micro. Is it a micro port? No, it's a little tiny hole that charges it. Little tiny hole on the side.
Okay, so it's not.
It has its own charger. In other words, it comes with its own charger. If you lose the charger, you're in trouble.
Okay.
All right.
So it charges. According to this, it takes it only about 2 to 3 hours to charge it fully.
That's true. That's true.
And then you can use it for the day.
Yeah, it's saying talk time of 2 to 3 hours, and I don't talk 3 hours. It says standby time of 72 hours.
Okay.
And I think I'd go along with that because just talking irregularly on it during the day, I didn't even have to charge it every night.
Are you talking on this device like holding it up to your head, like how, like if you're talking on it, like what do you do? Are you?
Yeah, you basically wind up holding it up because if you're doing something with your hand at that time, your voice is going to be fading in and out to the person on the other side of the. Yeah, you know, so. And that's why I say I don't see a huge advantage to one of these devices. Now, Apple might come out with one that's going to blow me away. I don't know.
honestly think it's not they're not meant to be used as like a phone. Like you're not Dick Tracy. You're like, hello Craig, how are you? That's not what you're going to end up doing. I think these are supposed to be, specifically for data consumption, like the Moto 360 and all the other ones. I would love to be able to just glance down, see the time, see when my next appointment is, see that I got a text message from someone, and maybe pull my device out of my pocket if I so deem it, or just to have it for like cycling or walking or something like that, or hook a pair of headphones up to it or something like that. But I can't foresee myself being like type, or like hello.
Right. Yeah.
Really
It's got a limited usability. One thing I didn't like about this, and I don't know, I haven't looked at too many of these phones, but basically, if you have it on, it's just looks like a bracelet. It's blank until you touch it. So you have to touch it to get the time.
Right. Okay.
And somebody old-fashioned like Craig and I are used to looking at a watch and seeing the time automatically. I mean, the time is always there, right?
Yes.
Why have a watch?
That's
and on this one, you have to press a button to get the time up.
You press the button, or do you just touch it anywhere?
You have to press a button.
Yeah, you press it, and you see the time. You see the 2 digits for the hour, 2 digits for the minutes.
Right.
You don't see seconds on this. What about the date?
No, and I don't see the date either. I just see the time. And it's got a battery functionality on there, so it shows you how much battery power you have left, and it just says 10:47 p.m.
Okay. See, that's something. When my watch, I've asked 2 things for a watch, and that is to give me the time and the date. That's to me is important. So to me, I guess this watch wouldn't be interesting because for the Moto 360 you can get the time and date. And even the watch that I'm wearing now minimally gives me the time and the date. So that's to me.
But you can ask Siri what day it is.
Yeah, I know. You can go for But again, I just want to be able to do it. Just look down and I see without having to do anything more. But it's the fact that I have to touch it to turn it on.
Oh
right.
My God!
Yeah, I know.
When did we get to this point?
Touch lazy, right?
Touch lazy. I know. It sounds bad when you say it, but it's true. I mean. When you're driving or something, you just want to be able to look down and know what the time is, and that's it, without having to do anything. There are times. No, you're right. There are times that it's inconvenient to have to touch the button, and to get Siri or Google Now, you have to just double touch the button. But you do have. Then you're using 2 hands. That's the problem. Yeah.
You're using the hand that the watch is on, and the other hand to press the button.
Mm-hmm. And I know it sounds. How lazy can you? But it's not a question of lazy. It's just a question of practicality. One of the things I like about my watch is that I just glance down and there it is. The time. I don't have to turn it on. I have to activate it. It's there. And the little digital display on it just stays on all the time. It never turns off. It's always underneath.
Right. Most of those old-fashioned watches do it that way.
Although this is, it's the display itself is actually I've never seen anything like it other than on this watch. It's gold. The letters and the numbers are gold tone. So go figure.
He's really into gold, isn't he, Charles?
I was just thinking that. I was like, that's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to send him a brick and paint it gold.
His gold iPhone, and now he's got a watch that displays gold.
I'm going to give him his gold iBrick.
You know how long I had this watch before I had the iPhone? I had this watch before my first iPhone. That's how long. I've had this watch for like 10 years or 12 years.
Yeah, but didn't you just get an iPhone? Weren't you like a jitterbug user up to this point?
No, that was Ben.
Oh.
Ben.
Yeah, but there it is. But this is an older technology. But again, the batteries last 2 years. The life in this watch lasts 2 years before I had to change them out.
And it's got a gold display.
And it's got a gold display. It wasn't my first.
I didn't know you were such a glitzy person.
I'm not.
Actually, wait, Sandy, have you seen him in his white belt and his lounge singer days? I gotta dig up that picture and send it to you.
Oh, please send me that one.
Yeah,
that sounds
total
good.
70s. Like you look up lounge singer in the 70s and it pops up Craig Crossman. That's just it is perfect.
So don't knock it till you try it. All right, so So let's talk a little bit. So and this comes in a variety of colors, with black and silver, I think. Are the two
Yeah,
colors.
black and silver.
And there's like the inside is red.
Yeah, that's the one thing. And again, if you're on Google, I'll hold it up. But the inside is like a reddish orange, and it's a soft finish, which does make it more comfortable. I personally would have preferred it not be red. I don't know why they made such a bright color.
The silver one is just silver on the inside and out, right?
You know, looking at it, it reminds me of one of those Fitbits, like the fitness bracelet. Like I would see that and be like, oh, I see chicks at the gym wearing that all the time. We're good.
Wait.
Exactly, but it's thicker and it's harder than say a jump Fitbit type thing.
Okay.
Now wait, I'm looking at the picture. I'm on the website. I'm at the Moda, and I see the one with the red back, but I'll see a black one, and it has a black inside. It's black.
Does it? Well, the one I have is silver.
And the silver, they have a silver with a red and a silver with no red.
Right. Well, mine has silver with red.
Yeah,
and the screen part it just looks black because it's blank.
Right.
The screen part is about 2-3 inches.
Yeah. Exactly.
So a good part of the front of it.
But it's easy to read. It's easy
to easy to read. It's got some pluses, and I think.
Like what?
Well, like I said, you can play music, you can do Google Now, you can do Siri. It's got a lot of pluses, and being all three types of devices that you can use it with, that's a real plus, and it's not terribly expensive. So you wouldn't feel horrible to buy this and use it, and then the iWatch comes out and you want that. You can bet the iWatch is going to be more expensive. So.
Yeah, probably. Although again,
Craig's gonna buy me one and ship it to me, so I'm good.
Yes, he's gonna and it's gonna a box with Jolly Rogers in it.
Only if it comes in gold. Rogers.
Okay. Hey, listen. We got a caller. It's calling us from Florida, who I think has a question. So let's see what they have to say.
Okay.
America, Craig Crossman. Hi, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello. How are you?
Okay. Can you tell me thank you very much. Can you tell me what's wrong tonight with the BTR? Because all the Skype calls keep cutting, and you guys cutting too when you're talking. So I'm not sure if you are aware of it or not. But
no, we're hearing you very.
Is this our problem, or is it your problem?
No, I think it's your problem because we're hearing everything clearly. We have Skype working clearly. We have. I'm just checking everything. Everything's coming through clear. So I think you might have a local problem there. We have people in the chat room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people in the chat room. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you listen to the show quite a bit.
Okay. So about Linux. I want to see that why not more people are dumping Microsoft and go for Ubuntu or any other 100 flavors of the Linux. And Linux is the best system. Pretty much you can do everything you want, except maybe few things you cannot see. Netflix on your computer because it's not compatible with Linux. But except that, you can do anything you want in Linux. But why do you think people are less reluctant to turn to Linux? I use Linux. My relative look Linux. Everybody in the world who I know, they use Linux.
Charles, you're the Linux guy. What do you?
Well, I think the caller it's the learning curve. People don't like things that are different. Like for example, I bounce between Android and my iPhone. Most people don't like doing that. Once they get comfortable knowing a system, they don't want to go anywhere else. And I mean, that was the big thing is like people were switching to Mac. They were like, I don't want to switch to Mac because it's going to take forever to learn. And then Mac solved that problem by saying, we have a Genius Bar. We'll teach you everything you need to know, and we can move everything for you. And there's really no learning curve there until we get an environment where the Linux community comes out and says, hey, all of you guys, all of you regular home users that want to be able to get in on the Linux idea, let's go ahead and let's teach you, that it's really not
Right.
any different. And you're right, Ubuntu is by far the most consumer mainstream one out there, and it is extremely easy to use. You just have to convince people to get over there. You know, some people are like, Microsoft Office. Well, LibreOffice does the same thing. You know, it does a lot of I mean, I used it earlier today because I needed a Visio thing, and it was on my Mac, and it worked out great. You know, there's really no reason to be running Microsoft unless you've got specialized software. So it comes down to training and what those people really kind of need.
And not being mainstream. It is,
Yeah, that too.
even though the caller says a lot of his friends have it, a lot of most people's friends don't have it. So it's never become a mainstream thing. Not that it couldn't be, because you know, I also use it, and it's fine. It does everything that you want it to do. I think people like things that are more visual, and you know, Windows is a little bit more visual. But what Charles hit upon was really true. I mean, people don't want to move from Windows 7 to Windows 8 because of the learning curve. Same with moving to Ubuntu or anything new. They would prefer not to unless they have to.
Yep.
Yeah, right now people has a Windows XP which is expired, and people still are using Windows XP, which every day to be hacked.
Yep.
And they
Right.
be hacked, but still they are refusing to go to Ubuntu 14.4 or open source or any other. There are 100 different flavors. Try one flavor, you don't like it, easily download a new version, burn it up on your disk. Instructions are on your systems. Usually, I mean, the 5 models are Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Magia, open source, Ubuntu, and Fedora.
See, that's another problem with the community is the Linux community as a whole hasn't really locked down on one definitive one. You know, Ubuntu is kind of leading the way there, but you know, I say Linux to someone there, and you're going to get 50 million people that are all going to be like, oh yes, Ubuntu is the best, Linux Mint is the best, Debian proper is the best, Red Hat, God help you if that's what you think, is the best. You know, it's really until we have a unified, for example, there's only one OS X. There's only one you know, Windows, you know, different variations of it in different versions, but they're all the same. You know, until we get to the point where we've got like Ubuntu is the only one that is really out there, or Linux is the only one that's really out there, people are going to be wary. They're going to be like, oh my God, which one? And that's part of the problem. You know, a big turnoff is the first interaction. You know, which one do I choose and why?
Right, and the caller is right in that it's very easy to try all these different versions, but people don't want to go through that process. People don't want to have to get to download something like that and burn it to a disk and all that sort of thing.
Yep.
So going to the store and buying a Windows computer is just easier. One other point that he does make, which is a very good one, if you're using an old Windows XP computer, which is very vulnerable right now, putting Linux on that machine is the best thing that you can do if you want to keep using it.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, caller. By the way, he's in California, not Florida. That was my fault. So.
Okay, pretty far away.
All right.
Yes, and I have one question before I go.
Yes.
One question. You know, Windows, then is 7, 8, 9, 10. They keep sucking your blood money. Please change it now to Linux. You will be happy. To Linux. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for calling us, caller. And,
Bye-bye.
All right. All right, listen, we're at the top of the hour, and we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back. Of course, we have another news tips bulletin from review from Marty Winston. We'll do that. Sandy Berger's going to continue with us. We're just going to break for a short moment, and then we'll be back. You're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. Sandy Berger, consumer electronics expert, is here with us. We're going to come back with all that cool UMA stuff. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman. And Charles Tendell just had to go away for a moment. He'll be back hopefully momentarily. But we are doing, Sandy Berger continues on with us. And again, if you want to follow along with us, you can go to our Computer America show notes page, and today's show is August the 13th. You'll see the Sandy's description of who she is and what she does. CompuKiss.com is her website. And then underneath that is a little link that says Cheat Notes, and you can open up that to Google Docs document. You can see everything that we're talking about here on tonight's program. So anyway, before we get to I know we ran out of time, but I just want to talk a little bit more about this Moda G2 Pro smartwatch. Now, this is not Motorola Technologies. It's Mota, M-O-T-A. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And I really don't know the company very well, but the watch seems substantial.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to do everything, it works with all the operating systems. I mean, so it seems to be fine. We had that caller who, again, seems to be, he's a Linux
advocate.
Advocate, yeah, and advocate might be too weak a word. I think he is like a Mac head. I mean, he is a Linux head. I mean, he obviously really is. That's one thing about these operating systems, though. When somebody gets to it and they start using it, it's not that difficult to become fanatical about it.
To fall in love with it, yeah.
Yeah, fall in love with it and become fanatical, and you want to.
Well,
you want to proselytize it to everybody. You really.
All except for Windows 8. I don't know too many people that have really fallen in love with it.
Well, I mean, like me, I'm on the developer build of Yosemite, the newest OS X, and I am absolutely loving. What do you say?
I held back 3 times. I couldn't. Blood gushing out of my eye sockets,
Yeah, well, I mean, I am absolutely actually kind of loving the thing. I mean, it's fast, and what's funny is it's minimalist. That's where everybody's going right now. Like Windows went, let's get flashy and animated and all this other stuff, and OS X is like, yeah, let's take that all away and just kind of make it look good, but make it flat, and flat's kind of where it's at.
But that's what Apple has always been. I mean, that's what Apple has built itself on, the minimalist.
Yeah, well, when the first iOS came out, I mean, it was very, three-dimensional and everything, and then when they went to iOS 7, the anti-skeuomorphic mentality from Johnny Ives over at Apple, he redesigned it and made it more flat and took away all 3D shadowing and everything. It still has a 3D feel to it. When you move the phone, you can see the things in the background moving, so it has a three-dimensional look. But everything is, as I said, it's the skeuomorphism and evidently that's coming over to the Macintosh platform as well. Mountain Lions, I'm using Mountain Lion right now, and it still has. I'm one behind it. I have not gone to Mavericks. I'm going to wait till the Yosemite comes up before I upgrade again. I'm going to skip that one. But I'm on Mountain Lion, and Mountain Lion still has somewhat of a three-dimensional feel to it. The icons in the dock. They have reflections. They look very nice, but of course you pay the prices that there's a little bit of an overhead that you have to pay for those types of things. So anyway, so the caller. So again, thanks for listening, and keep listening, and we'll see what happens with as things time on. And again, we should have told them that we have every month, Charles, as you know, we have a Linux show.
Yep, the Going Linux podcast with Larry Bushy.
Yeah, Larry Bushy's on. So if you tune in our Linux show, which is coming up next week, next Thursday, the 21st, Larry Bushy is going to be on. We invite all of you and that caller to listen and call in with your Linux questions. We devote an entire 2-hour show to the subject of Linux every month. So, all right, well then let's move to this next one. Now, this is a product from Uma. It's the Uma, and I have to say, up front before we get started that I absolutely love this device. I think this device, voice over IP has always been iffy to me, and I was always reluctant to go because the quality of the sound wasn't very good. There were a lot of problems. Uma sent me a unit to try, and since getting it, I now have 2 Uma devices, one for each phone line, although you can get 2 lines for each one, and the voice quality is outstanding. I mean, the Uma Tello is just an amazing device. It does everything that I could have done with my switched landline AT&T line. I can actually do more with it than with the AT&T line. And I just think that it just sounds great. They have all kinds of technology built into this, so you don't lose. You get a very solid, very good sound with it. I've been very pleased with the Uma device. I don't know if you use it, Sandy, or have you? I mean.
I do use it, and I agree with you that it's a really solid device. It is the clarity is the best off of any other VoIP thing that I mean, we've talked about on this show.
Yeah.
Magic Jack and several others that we've tried, and they've all been good, or should I say decent. But Uma definitely has the best clarity.
Yeah. As I said, I use it for my personal offline and my office line. You get 2 lines for each one, each device that you get. You have all the features, call forwarding. It'll send messages to my smartphone when I have a message waiting and let me know, and then I can check my messages remotely directly through it. They even have an app if you want to. I mean, it's just a great little.
And they keep adding functionality, which is really great. I mean, there's an Uma app now, and I have not tried that yet, but I know you can do a lot with that.
They have a Bluetooth little plug, little dongle, which is so tiny you can barely see it, and you plug it in. And so if your cell phone rings and it's by the Uma, you can answer your cell phone using the Uma device, and which is really slick. And all the information gets passed to it. In other words, when you get a phone call, you get caller ID. You see all this information to any device you hook up to it. If you have voicemail waiting, the little voice message light goes off on the phone that you hook up to it, not only just to it itself, so it lets you know. I mean, so you can see on remote phones, you can hook up a cell phone, a cordless phone to it. I mean, it's just the most versatile, functional system, a voice over IP system that I've seen out there.
And have you tried the Bluetooth adapter with your iPhone?
Yes, I have, and it works perfectly. My iPhone, sitting next to it right now on the desk, if my iPhone were to ring, my business line would ring, and I would see on the caller ID that it's coming from my cell phone, and I would see who the person is that's calling.
Okay, here's the thing: and this was the first time that I've tried the Bluetooth adapter. So I did what you said. You just plug it into the Uma. The main box, and it's supposed to work, right?
You have to pair it up with your phone.
Pair it up, right? And it didn't work.
No.
So, in other words, I got the pairing sound, and it's supposed to then show up on your iPhone, and it didn't.
Stop it, Charles. I knew it was my cell phone was going to ring.
I had to check.
Yeah, it's flashing.
So anyway, I thought, well, I'm not going to play with it. I'll call Uma because I always like to check to see, what their tech support is like.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually call them. I did an online chat with them.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl that was chatting with me, she said, well, did you check the compatibility list to see if the iPhone was on, that your phone was on the compatibility list?
Mm-hmm.
So I went over to the compatibility list, and lo and behold, the iPhone 5 was not on there. Neither was the Galaxy or, the LG, any of the phones that I happen to have here. I have 4 cell phones.
What about the 5S? The 5S?
No, it's not on the compatibility list.
But it works.
Well, mine didn't. And so, I said to her, well, what does it mean that it's not on the compatibility list? She says, well, that means maybe it'll work and maybe it won't.
Oh,
and I I was really surprised by that. But basically, all she said is, well, let's reset the UMA and try it again, which I did, and it worked the second time after we reset it.
Yeah.
Now, they could put that in the instructions, I would think, or that would have been my first logical thing to try if I was just trying to troubleshoot it myself.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to remember. I got the UMA when I had an iPhone 4. The Bluetooth worked with the 4. It worked with the 4S. It worked with the 5, and it worked with the 5S. So
Well, it works, but evidently it doesn't work all the time, or they would put it on the compatibility list. So that was one thing that I was actually quite shocked by that.
All right.
I was quite shocked.
Yeah. Mine's never missed. I mean, when you ring it, my phone rings.
Yeah. Well, mine works now too. I did hook it up to the iPhone,
okay.
And it works now, but it didn't work the first time we tried it.
Okay.
So I don't know what that was all about. All right.
Now the other features that they have, I mean, for example, you can have a blacklist. You can filter calls out not only by number but by exchange. Yeah, you can say everybody from this area code and this exchange. Because some of these telemarketing people will own an exchange and they'll call you on a different number every single time. You can't block it, but with UMA you can block them out by a block of numbers if you want to. It's quite a versatile system. At least that's been my experience.
It is, and they also have a special system for offices. And if you have an office or home office and you want to go VoIP, I think UMA is the only way to go. Really, it's that good.
Now I have not messed around with the Office version. I think the Office version gives you, if you want to, when you're on hold, it'll give you music or
Right.
That's the one that we're actually looking for. We want to get that for our office. So.
Right. Yeah. I am. Now I do want to say up front that when I got my two UMAs, that the Office version had not been available yet.
Mm-hmm.
At the time. But I'm extremely happy with these two. Plus that the UMAs have the high definition handsets that you can hook to it as well.
And you can also hook. We should tell everybody you can also hook up your own phone,
yes.
whatever phone you have, or if you have a set of wireless phones throughout your house, you just hook the main one up to the UMA, and it'll ring throughout the house.
And all the information gets passed along. So in other words, if I'm in my bedroom and I want to see who's calling from the UMA, and I'll look at the phone and it'll show me the caller ID. If I have voicemail waiting, the little voicemail indicator will come on that phone. I mean, it all works. It's just an amazing system. So I've really enjoyed it. So UMA is evidently now coming out with some additional things for their devices.
Right. They have something called the UMA Links. Mm-hmm. And the Links is what it is it's a remote telephone jack. So you do need to have, you hook it up to the router to program it. Mm-hmm. Now you hook it up to the router to register it, and then you can, after that, you can take it to any outlet in the room, in the house actually, in a different room, and plug it in, and it wirelessly connects to the UMA, which is really cool, because you can put a fax line to it, or they say you can put several devices to it, which I don't understand. It only has one jack unless you use a hub with it.
Well, here's the thing. Let me tell you how I've been using it, the Links. And in other words, I use it because I have a wireless printer. I have the Epson small-in-one printer, which you can actually see behind me where the little hamburger phone is. With my thing, you can see that's the small-in-one. Okay. And the only thing that's plugged into is the wall for power. That's it. Everything else prints. All the printers, my wife's printer upstairs, I print to it wirelessly. But it also has the ability to be a fax machine, and for that I would have to have a phone connection to the fax, and that means I would have to string a wire from there all the way to my desk here, which was very interesting. It turns out I put the Links on that over there where the printer is, and so now and it has its own phone number, which you assign, for your fax number, or you can give it your fax number. You can port it over, whatever you want. Mm-hmm. When the fax number rings, now that rings and gets the fax, and I can send faxes all wirelessly. So I maintain the wireless connection from the printer or the fax machine to the UMA, which is sitting on my desk, and that allows me to do that. Otherwise, I would have to get a long wire, and it wouldn't work.
Right, and that's exactly how I have mine set up, but mine is in a different room than the UMA. So the UMA can be in one room and this can be in another, which is, again, a very, very nice feature.
And when you configure it, you actually tell it what you want it to be. It'll say a fax machine, or you can actually tell it what you. Because if you tell it's a fax machine, you have some additional configurations that you can do. There's an error checking correction mode that you can turn on and turn off with fax machines, and this will accommodate all of those, so you can do what you need to do to make sure that it all works. And I get faxes all the time with it, and I send faxes. It's a really cool little thing, and again, it all works with the UMA. And again, the bottom line is that I'm making free phone calls. I'm faxing for free. I'm getting faxes for free, because it's all part of the UMA system.
Now, we should say there's UMA, and then they have a pro service too, which is $9.99 a month.
The Premier, exactly.
Premier they call it. And the UMA now, when I looked on their website, it was $129.99, which is the cheapest I've seen it. I remember when UMA first came out, I believe it was over $200.
It was much more expensive. It's come way down.
So it's come way down. The Bluetooth adapter we just talked about is $29. The UMA Links is about $50. And so the add-ons are pretty inexpensive. What you do pay with UMA, though, is, and I don't understand why Magic Jack can get away without charging this, but UMA charges it, which is taxes and service charges.
I still don't understand that either. Because it's like, for example, North Carolina is like a $4 tax or something.
Right.
And you pay that, but yet Magic Jack and Net Talk. Thank you.
Net Talk, yes.
Net Talk is they
don't pay it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure exactly how they're getting away with it and why UMA can't. Because if UMA didn't do it, then it would complete a completely free service unless you're using the Premier.
Well, it's you remember that it's not really a tax or a fee or anything. It's you're providing better service and taking customers out of our pocket fee.
No, actually, they list it right on their website as being a service charge and a tax.
Wow.
Now, the service charge that they list is for your 911 number, which UMA does handle differently than Magic Jack and Net Talk.
Oh.
Yeah, the 911 goes directly to their servers and then it goes out. So you register where it's at. It just does work differently, and it's probably better.
Yeah.
So you're paying a couple bucks a month for that, but I don't understand the tax thing at all.
Yeah. The E911, so you tell it where you're located, and which is nice because if you move or you take your UMA with you, to the location.
Uh-oh. Telephone.
Was that Charles again? Stop it!
I was trying to keep a straight face, but
I can tell. The point is, I see I lost my thought. But if it's
we were talking about it being a tax.
Yeah, if you move the 911, you can register where you are, and then they will alert the 911 police where you're located. So if you go to Florida.
Exactly.
The West Palm Beach, you're there. If you come back to North Carolina, you can tell it where you're located, and then it will work. So that's a nice feature. Yeah.
But the taxes, as you said, North Carolina are about $4 or $5 a month. But I did look at some other cities recently, and I was really surprised when I got to Baltimore. The taxes were $9 a month.
What about Florida?
Taxes and service charge, the whole ball of wax. But
what about Florida? I haven't looked.
I looked around at different areas and different places. Most of them were in the $4 or $5 range for all the taxes and service charges.
Yeah, Florida is at the least. I mean, there's no state tax. You'd think
it would be less. I don't know why Baltimore was that expensive, but it's something that you can go and check out on their website before you buy. You can actually put in your zip code, and it'll tell you exactly what you'll pay per month.
Yeah, and I'm reaching over here. The UMA handset. This is what their handset looks like, and it's a full color phone, and this ties into the UMA device.
Hold it up for a second. I want to see what it looks like when I call it.
So there you go. You don't know which one it was. It could have been for either. So, but yeah, I have one for the personal and one for the business line. And again, now I don't use them that much, quite frankly. I mean, I have a cordless phone hooked into it, and I use the cordless phone. But I do have these. I mean, I have one for each UMA. You can have, I think, up to 3. And,
one handset, you mean?
I have one handset, but I think you can go up to 3 handsets per UMA device. I think that's the.
So you have the handset and then the wireless phone set.
Yeah, and I rarely ever use the UMA high definition. I just use my regular phone, which I plug right into it, because my regular phone is a unit phone. It has up to 10 satellite phones, cordless phones. I have all 10 being used because throughout the house. And that's how I get my calls. I'm in the kitchen, the phone rings in here. I mean, I see the caller ID, I see everything. Oh, by the way, the Uniton also is a 2-line phone. So I have the Uniton hooked up line 1 to the first UMA, and that line 2 hooked up to the second UMA. So that means I get all my calls from any of them. Hmm?
And you still have 10 phones plus the 2 UMA phones?
Yeah, I have
so you have 12 phones.
I have 12 phones totally. Yeah.
Craig, I know you talk a lot, but come on.
No, it's just I want to be able to answer the phone wherever I am in the house. So that's it.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
You know, like women have shoes. Well, Craig's got phones.
And watches with gold accents.
And watches.
Yeah, and watches. Right, exactly. Okay. But seriously, I mean, I used to pay from AT&T for my 2 phone lines. My phone bill was typically somewhere about $300 a month.
Dear God, who were you calling? Cambodia?
See, he does talk a lot.
Well, you see, no, because I had all unlimited calling. No, that's not true. I mean, and and I had the
just teasing.
Yeah, I know, but it was because with all the services, they were the add-ons, the special things, the extra features that come standard with the UMA. You had to pay extra with AT&T to have all the. You need to call forwarding, call that, all these different things. You paid for that. With the UMA, that's all included. That's all inclusive.
That's true, and it does just as good a job as the landline phone, really.
Yeah, really, it's completely clear, completely clear. And as I said, I do things with the UMA that I could not even do with the AT&T line. You know, having the remote information coming to and from to my email to my smartphone. So we're talking about the links, and again, great fax machines.
Right.
It's a remote phone jack. So if you don't have a cordless phone and you need a place to plug your phone into, you have a standard landline phone, you need to plug it into something that this will certainly do. That will work.
And the other thing we should tell everybody is that you can port your numbers over to UMA. I think it's a $40 or $50 charge.
That was one of the easiest things too, because I was worried. You know, I didn't want to give up my phones to something that was an unknown factor. I used the UMA for about a month and a half, and when I finally realized that it was doing everything that I wanted to, then I called them up and I said, okay, port the number over, and they say it's going to take 2 weeks. It took like about 5 days, and all of a sudden when I dialed the number, then my AT&T line didn't ring anymore, my UMA rang it, and I knew they had made it switch over. And they do all that. They submit the paperwork, they do everything for you. You don't have to do anything other than telling them that I want to do it.
And although they'll say it might take a week or 2, it has, in my experience, always been faster as well.
Yeah, exactly. Very effective. Okay, so now they also have another new product called this UMA Safety Phone.
Yes, this is the newest thing that UMA has, and it's very interesting. I'm going to hold it up for those of you who are on Google that you're with us.
Oh, look at that!
It's a pendant phone.
What
so
is that?
It's a little black phone. It's a full phone, but it's about 2 inches by 3 inches, and you wear it around your neck. Now, as far as the physical thing about this is that it's no lightweight. It's no featherweight. It weighs probably close to as much as the iPhone does, and you're wearing it around your neck, so it's kind of heavy.
Right.
But again, the sound quality is really great on this thing. It's an emergency phone thing, so you have a little place here that you can turn it on.
Right.
And you hear your your dial tone. Your UMA has a special dial tone.
Yeah, I like that.
On the back, it has a plus and a minus for your volume, and a 1 and a 2. And what you do is you go online after you register this, registration is very easy. It's all done through your UMA machine. And you go online and you put in what you want number 1 to be and what you want number 2 to be. It could be your son and your daughter, your husband and your daughter. It could be 911. Number 1 could be 911 and number 2 could be something else. And then you press that button and it will make the call to that particular person. So you can only use this to call 2 people.
Yeah, but if you're in trouble, help, I've fallen and I can't get up,
That's all you need, right? Now, the place, I just wanted to try it out, and I found that it's got some really good distance on it, much more. Usually, Bluetooth devices are 30 feet.
Yeah.
Well, I can take this one at least 100 feet because I can take it all the way out in the yard with me, and I have a very big yard. And you can wear it around your neck. That way you can answer calls through it because it's a full phone.
Oh, okay.
You can answer calls. You can only call out to 2 people, but you know how often you might be want to work outside and don't want to put that cell phone in your pocket because you're afraid it's going to get dirty or lost or whatever. And although it was made for emergencies, I could see it for other things as well.
Like, yeah, I mean, for example, just to call.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really slick. And the fact that it's not Bluetooth, because if you get a range of 100 feet or more, that's certainly Bluetooth is about 30 feet. So.
Right.
And now it's interesting you mentioned the dial tone because UMA has a very unique dial tone. It has this little sound. I don't know if I can actually play it so you can hear it.
I can probably play it right from here.
That's it. Yeah.
Now that was the little safety phone that I played it on.
Right, exactly. Let me see if I can do it here. Nope. I have to type the number first or something.
One nice thing about the UMA too is you don't have to dial the area code if the area code you're in. Like a Magic Jack, you have to actually, and Net Talk too. Well, I could be wrong on Net Talk.
Yeah, Net Talk, you didn't have to.
Net Talk, you could register your area code.
Yeah, right. Magic Jack, I think it's a 10-digit number. Right. But with UMA, if you're in a particular area, then yeah, you're right. Then you don't need to do that.
Yeah, which is really. Talk about little things making a difference and being lazy, but that dialing the extra area code all the time really got to me. I don't like to have to do that at all.
Yeah, with UMA, if you're local, you just dial the local number. That's all you need. Yeah. Because it knows what you tell it when you first go, where you are, what area code you're in, and so you dial anything within that area code, you're fine. And you don't need to dial the 1 and the area code number. So basically, it's a 10-digit, actually 11-digit one. So that is in the feature. The other thing, I don't know if you know about this, Sandy, but if you don't, for some reason you didn't like that tone, you can go on on your configure. You can configure to give you a regular dial tone too. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I like that tone. I wouldn't want to get rid of it.
I do, but if for some, for example, you know why they did that? Because, for example, like with the fax machine, if you hook a fax machine, the fax machine, the UMA dial tone, some of them don't recognize it as a dial tone, and they won't.
Oh, okay.
And you'll get an error message saying it'll say null dial tone detected. So to overcome that, you can actually say, okay, play a regular dial tone. With the links, if you're hooking a fax machine, you say one of the things is when you say it's
a fax machine, yeah.
And then they'll do a regular dial tone. But if you want a regular dial tone, you can do that too. Hey, we're at the bottom of the hour already, and all right. Well, this is the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, the IRN Radio Network. Sandy Berger is our guest for this hour. We're going to continue on with her. We've got some interesting articles coming up when we finish with UMA. We'll be right back with another News Tip Bulletin Review with Marty Winston. Stay with us.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 120,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, Cover America Auto Care has announced revolutionary, inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage that is now available to the general public to save consumers thousands on auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for drivers to call who own a vehicle that is less than 10 years old for a free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number is 800-483-2514. Drivers who are covered with this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair again. This is the auto coverage now sweeping across America at a fraction of what dealerships charge and is now available to the public by calling today. The number to call is 800-483-2514. 800-483-2514. That's 800-483-2514.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV.
Hi, this is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time it's the Berger Nightstick rechargeable flashlight, model NSR 9746. Do you remember Captain Kangaroo? Well, not even Captain Kangaroo could fit a 13-inch long Berger Nightstick NSR 9746 rechargeable flashlight into his pocket. But this brute of a metal-cased light is designed for ready access with a slip-in charger dock that an AC wall wart or a car's 12-volt accessory plug can power. Holding in its power switch cycles it through its 3 modes. There's a high mode, 420 lumens, good for 275 minutes per charge.
Hi.
A medium mode, 225 lumens, good for 10 hours. And a low mode, 45 lumens, good for 63 hours. It also has a 400 lumen strobe mode, good for 8 hours. And you activate that just by double-clicking. Bottom line, the Berger Nightstick NSR 9746 rechargeable flashlight offers a lot of light, a lot of runtime, and a lot of heft with a stay-ready charger dock so you know where to find it. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Thank you for that, Marty. I'm still learning to get over the dialing into my brain thing, but I guess it's okay. Yeah. Welcome back to the Computer America Show, 33 minutes after the hour. In the second hour, we're talking to our consumer electronics expert, Sandy Berger. And for a second, I was like, did Sandy change shirts? Did I miss that transition? But no. You were just sitting up taller. I was like, what?
I moved my chair. That's it.
If you guys got a question for me, Craig, or Sandy, give us a call, 347-884-8881. That number again, 347-884-8881. I'll get you on, I'll get you through. Or join us over at computeramerica.com in our IRC chat room on the Computer America chat page, right above which is our live interactive video, kind of interactive. I interact with Craig, Sandy, and everybody else. Brought to you by these guys right here. No, Otherworld Computing. Great stuff from great people. Check them out, maxsales.com.
You know, it's interesting that you say that the Internet Relay IRC, Internet Relay chat room, is really taken off. I mean, everybody seems to like it. You know, I still like the add-on chat room. Don't get me wrong. When he calls me and says we have the HTML5 version, you know, we're going back to it. But until then, I mean, not to have to deal with Java. You know, you don't need a Java-enabled browser. You don't have to worry about it. Since then, I've had like 2 more Java updates, and now, I used to hold my breath when I did it. Now I don't worry about it because we're not using it.
You should just uninstall Java. You should just stop using that, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can uninstall it.
Well, see, the thing is the Java that is actually built into to OS X, that one doesn't get updated. Like it's a stock Java need that was built that was built and modified and everything else, so that doesn't need to be updated.
I get updates all the time.
Right. That means you've installed like Java 6. You've actually installed the Java version that didn't come bundled with your Mac.
So if I would to uninstall that, are you saying that I would still have Java?
You would still have Java-ish. You would have the Java that's built into the system, but you wouldn't. But you'd still get complaints from websites that are like, "Oh, you don't have the latest and greatest Java. We can't."
Could I use the add-on? Could I use the add-on chat room?
I don't know. As soon as we switched to the IRC, I just stopped having Java. I just uninstalled it altogether.
Well, maybe I will, because it causes problems. How do you does it allow you to uninstall it from the control panel, or do you have to get
there's kind of a process, but yeah, you go in and you can actually disable your after the fact Java out of there.
Okay, well maybe we'll talk about how to do that, because I'm not sure if I off the top of my head if I know how to do it. Anyway, Sandy Berger was gone for a little bit, but she seems to be back now during the break. Sandy, are you back with us? Okay.
She's sitting very, very still.
Yeah, she's. Sandy, are you there? Sandy, are you there?
We have two Sandys. It's interesting.
We have two Sandys now in our Hangouts, our Google Hangouts, and I'm not sure what's going on, but. This happens every once in a while, but we're not. I don't think we're hearing. I'm not hearing her. What we might want to do while she continues to try to, let's do a couple things here that I need to do anyway, and that is talk about our Pro XPN. They have a limited special offer, and we are almost finished with them, and we want to make sure that you get in on the action because it's a limited time offer. Pro XPN basically is an open VPN solution hosted not only here in the U.S. but globally, like Amsterdam, London, and Singapore. And that's important because, when you're online, you can actually appear as though you're located in those cities. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, because you don't want your internet service provider monitoring what you're doing, because they can when you use them directly, and they can block whatever it is you may be doing if you somehow exceed what they think is their guidelines. They can throttle you back, and all these things that you don't want to happen. But with ProXPN, you don't have to worry about any of that. Okay, so it's 100% secure. I use it. It's a very strong 2048 encryption. The encryption tunnel is 512 bits. Basically, ProXPN protects you online and protects your privacy. It's the way the internet was intended to be. I on my gold iPhone 5S. And if you have an Android phone, it actually adds OpenVPN to Android, which it doesn't have, and so you don't have to use PPTP. But of course, if you want to, you can, because ProXPN supports that as well. Here's the deal: we want you to download ProXPN, and it's completely free if you want to do that. But quite frankly, the premium version is so much faster and better. Normally, it's just $10 a month or $75 a year. But if you enter in the code COMPAM, C-O-M-P-A-M, you get an additional 20% off your membership. And once you do that, it's good forever, not just that one time. So it's less than $5 a month when you go for the yearly plan. Look, you need this if you ever go online and you listen to the show. You know you need it. It's one of the best VPNs I've tried. Again, it's proxpn.com. Just go to our website. You'll see the ProXPN. It'll take you to the special page, and the code is there. COMPAM, just once, 20% off any membership you choose forever. It's ProXPN. Do it. Okay, we're talking to Sandy Berger. Sandy, I see, is back. Another little glitch.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm back.
You're back. Okay. So, did we finish with UMA? Was there anything else you wanted to mention before we move on?
Just two things on the UMA safety that we were talking about. Safety phone. One is it comes with the cradle, which is very nice. So it's got a little cradle, fits right in there. so you can have it sitting on an end table or something like that, and that's also how you charge it.
Is that a charger? Yeah, so that's how you.
Yes, it's a charger. And the other thing is that it does require an UMA Premier subscription.
Okay.
So in order to use it, you're going to pay the $9.99 a month. You're going to get a lot of other things along with that, but you do need that for the family safety.
And when you say a lot of other things, those lot of things are not superfluous. I think they're very useful. They're very necessary. I mean, you get 2 phone lines, which is nice, but you get a lot of other things. I think you get unlimited call also to Canada. I think they give you that as well. So you get a lot of additional calling features, which certainly are. It's not some little indirect thing which you may or may not use. You're gonna use most of those features with that premium version. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you go on their website, it actually lists what you get in 2 long lists. So you're right. There is a lot there to investigate.
Okay.
So I just wanted to say those 2 things about it. Also that a lot of people have these pendants, these safety type pendants.
Yes.
They're not full phones. Most of them are not full phones like this.
Yeah.
The Jitterbug has some very, very nice features, but it even costs more than this. Almost every pendant that I've seen has been about $15 to $20 a month. So.
And this costs what? This is what, $50?
This is a $50 item, and you're going to pay for the Premier thing at $10 a month.
Okay.
And of course, you have to have an UMA to make it work. You have to have the UMA Tello to make this work. But if you're already vested into the UMA world, this is a nice addition.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. The UMA safety phone. So, all right. So we talked about the UMA Bluetooth adapter, the UMA Links, and the UMA safety phone. These are all new features to the Bluetooth. That's been around for a while, but the Links.
That's been around. Yeah, the Links is fairly new, but the safety phone is their really brand new product.
And of course, they do have a business version of this phone, the voice over IP phone too, that you might want to check into. Right. I don't know if I think the business phone. Does it have the Premier version, the features, or does it come with that? I think
it comes with it, and I have not really looked at it, so I don't even know what they're charging for that or what the added features are.
Well, maybe next time we should look at that.
Yeah, for a small office or a home office, their home version, the one we're talking about today, works just fine, as you demonstrated with all the things you've got hooked up to yours.
Absolutely. All right, I want to talk a little bit about some of these articles that you have here, and I'd like to start off with you will be using digital payments soon. I think this is very intriguing, and let's talk a little bit about what you mean by that. What you cover in the story with this?
Well, first of all, let me tell everybody that these stories the articles are all on the CompuKiss website. It's COMPUKISS.com. So visit me there to read this and more. But when I say you will be using digital payments soon, I mean already you can use your iPhone or your Android phone, whatever, to make payments in Starbucks and various places like that by swiping it. But there's a lot of competition right now to get payments out there and to be able to make small digital payments anywhere. Which will pretty much eliminate the need for cash. And there's quite a few companies out there that are doing this, and the competition is great. There's Google Wallet, there's ISIS, and by the way, that's not the ISIS that you might be thinking about from Iraq. That is, the companies there actually are working, last I heard, working on changing their name because of ISIS. So, but a lot of places around the world are using payments mobile payments much more than we are. They're pretty prevalent in Japan right now. Sweden has some, quite a few places. And interestingly enough, some third world countries are using these sort of mobile payments because the people don't have bank accounts. But they do have cell phones more and more. So I find that very interesting. So as the competition heats up, they're going to find a standard, and somebody's going to be the one who pretty much takes over.
Well, I'm just kind of curious because Charles is really invested in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I don't know necessarily if that's really that's not really a digital payment, is it? So
this is nothing like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a mechanism of payment, but it is a monetary thing. This is a payment system. So you're going to have a Google Wallet or another one on your phone, and more places will be able to accept payments from that. But it's going to come out of your bank account. It's not going to come out of Bitcoins or anything else. It's going to be, for us, U.S. dollars.
Now again, and I don't certainly wish to be unkind, and it's not, but I notice. And it happened to me again just the other day. I was at a grocery store, and I went to the express counter and there was this person who I guess you would categorize as someone who's a little more elderly. Pulls out the old checkbook.
Oh my God! I didn't know that still existed.
How much? And she's writing it down, and how much is the amount? I'm dying there because I want my. It brings the whole express line to a screeching halt, and I'm going, is it just a sign? It can't be age. I mean, there are people who are older who understand and have embraced the digital technology. Will have a credit card.
Yeah, but who still uses checks?
Checks. I don't know. Why?
There are always going to be holdouts. There are always going to be people that say, my way of doing it is fine. I don't need anything new. And you
might not need anything new, but the people whom you're holding up wish you would get them.
Well, that's true. That's true. When email first came out, and I remember I was out, I had given some speeches on it, and I would always say that I would tell people about email, older people about email, and they'd say, I don't need it, I don't want it, there's no way I'm going to do that. This was quite a while ago, but they were emphatic about it, and I would, in my talk, always say, but then I heard a bell go, just like a ding-dong, like, what was the name of that movie? Where when an angel rang a bell in heaven.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Because those people suddenly woke up and they tried email, and I would usually get a blank email first. I'd give them my email address when I set them up, and they'd send me a blank email, and I'd say, okay, it's coming. And then they would get into email, and then the bells would go off literally in their heads, and they realized what they were missing. It's the same with people that are still using checkbooks. They just don't realize what they're missing.
Yeah, they've done it that way probably since they were in their younger or childhood even. I remember when I went to school, I had to learn how to use a checkbook, and you learned it, and you got a checking account, and you had to balance the checkbook and all that. And I said, okay, well, but again, it's just even when you make a check today and you hand it to the cashier at most like supermarket, they don't keep it. They take it, they put it to a scanner, and they give you the check back. They debit the account immediately. They don't even hold it because they don't want to take a risk that it might be a bad check. It's just like a debit card. They put it in, it takes the money out immediately, and they hand them back the check. After they sit there and wrote it out and everything, and they give them the canceled check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is totally amazing to me, and I wrote about this in another article, if we have time to talk about it, called The Internet of Things.
Mm-hmm.
But that what I was talking about there is so many things are becoming internet connected that it's mind-boggling. And in 10 years from now, what we're doing right now is going to be like writing checks. It's going to be outdated, totally rudimentary compared to what we'll be doing in 10 years.
Well, here's something. Sometimes I'll get a payment for a check, from a client or what have you. I'm sitting here in my home. I don't go to the bank. I take my smartphone. I run the little app. It comes from the bank. Gives me an app. I take a picture of the front of the check, the picture of the back of the check. It's done. It's deposited. I can tear that check up. I put it in the folder because I show it. But I deposit. I don't have to go to the bank anymore. You don't really need. There's no read to it. You can deposit the check, and that's it. I mean, it's really, really nice. they keep adding these features and abilities. And
Right.
When they first started them, they had limits, and now they don't have the limits. Most banks have
Right.
taken the limits off. Yeah.
So think where we're going to be 10 years from now.
Where are we going to be, Sandy?
Well, everything's going to be connected to the internet. I mean, I didn't really think, if you would have asked me a few years ago, I would have said, oh, an internet-connected refrigerator, washing machine, whatever. Didn't hold much promise or very much excitement to me. But yet, when you think that people are constantly adding internet and devices, internet-connected devices. In Boston, they have park benches that are internet connected.
No way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How so?
Well, they have these park benches that actually have USB ports because they're solar powered, so they have USB ports so people can plug in their cell phones and charge them up there. Yeah. But they also give them air quality and interesting things about the surroundings. And Cisco has done a lot of work on this. If you go to the CompuKIS website and read my article about the Internet of Things, I have a link in there. I should have put it in the show notes, but I neglected to do that. But anyway, I have a link in there to a Cisco counter where they're counting out how many things are connecting to the Internet, and you see the numbers go by minute, or second by second, I should say, of all these devices that are being, we get baby monitors, we've got all sorts of things.
I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh.
You have some audio on there. I don't know what that is.
There's a connection sound. Right? I'm looking 13,133,937,981. But it just keeps jumping. It moved again. So it's jumping about 1,000 connected things every 10 seconds. It looks like it's
right.
About 100 new devices come online. And this is again this is one of Cisco's blogs that Sandy's article points to it. And I'm watching this.
It's amazing, isn't it? When you think about it.
Yeah. By 2020, the Internet of Everything has the potential to connect 50 billion devices.
50 billion devices. Unbelievable. And everything is going to be connected. And right now, one of the things that surprised me, the park benches, okay, I can understand that. But there are people that already have internet-connected cattle.
Cattle?
And yes, and
that's 500 head of router right there.
Yeah, exactly. But it tells the owners when the cattle get sick or pregnant or whatever's happening, whatever they need to know to monitor that. So when you think that every head of cattle will have an internet connection, every washing machine, every baby monitor, it's going to be a total change of our lifestyles.
No, wait,
This continues.
We've been brainstorming the last week or so about a new product idea, and it's a perfect opportunity to run it by a tech expert and Craig.
Thanks, Charles.
No problem, anytime. So, okay, both of you have wireless routers in your house, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Mine's hooked to my cattle.
Yours is hooked to your cattle. It's 500
cattle in the backyard.
Cattle right there. Okay, if you had a device that replaced your home Wi-Fi router, gave you the same speed, it was easy to set up, and it added things like network security, so that it blocked like malware and intrusion and data exfiltration and all this other high-speed stuff, and it gave you the ability to one, see all the traffic on your network like remotely. Like Craig, you could be like out and be like, gee, I wonder what's going on at home, or I got an alert about something that my computer was doing. Let me log into my dashboard and see what's going on. And you had the ability to do the parental control portion where you could be like, I don't want these level of sites to be accessed, and you had an ability for it to actually, block malicious sites.
Mm-hmm.
One, would that be a product you two would be interested in?
Sure, I would.
Sandy?
Yeah, I don't see why not. There are a lot of products out there already that do some similar things. Okay? Maybe not one product that does them all.
Okay.
So it would have to be pretty compelling, I think, it sounds comprehensive, and you'd have to explain to people how comprehensive it is to be compelling.
Okay. Because I mean,
Yeah.
what we're thinking about is literally we replace your home Wi-Fi router with our secure router system, and the system itself now puts this like secure umbrella over your network, and you can see all these other wonderful things, and you're not getting data stolen from you. Now, my second question is, what would you pay for that?
Well, I don't think people are going to pay much more than they'll pay for a router. And the thing that comes to my mind is somebody tried this, something like this. I can't remember what it was called though, and it was a fellow from the government.
Trust the government.
Schmidt, I think was his name. Who he didn't work for the government anymore, but he was promoting this sort of thing. This has got to be, Charles, maybe 8-9 years ago that I'm talking about, that he tried to do something like this, which was a router, same type of thing what you're talking about. Of course, 8 or 9 years ago, we didn't have as much technology about it, and that was a total failure. But again, you know, when I talked about Bluetooth or blue light, you know, and talked about glasses that were out 8 or 9, 10 years ago, that was a complete failure. It could be because it was ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're considering it because we were at DEF CON and we were at Black Hat, and it was all that everybody kept talking about the Internet of Things, and I'm like, dear God, you're finally coining a phrase where everybody's connected to everyone, everywhere, all the time, and it's great, but no one is taking into account, you know, all that really means is I'm going to hack your refrigerator. I'm going to hack your lighting. I'm going to hack all this other stuff. If I could put an end to malware on home networks, if I could stop 99% of malware, viruses, and crypto locker, you know, I think people would love that.
Spend a lot of money on advertising. You'd have to let people really know what it's doing for them, but it sounds pretty viable.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, my cattle are being monitored. It's not Wi-Fi though. We have to have wires to each cow at this point. You know, so.
That's horrible.
Yeah, they keep over the wires, but
they get tangled up a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Signals get crossed.
Hey, Sandy, listen, we're pretty much out of time. Again, CompuKiss.com. By the way, Charles, have you gone to the calendar recently? I'm getting every time I go to the calendar now, I'm getting this connection is untrusted. What the heck is that?
That's not my fault. I don't know. Let's find out. Are you using Google Chrome?
No, I'm using Firefox.
Okay, let's see.
It's really strange. Okay. Anyway, Sandy, again, I want to thank you so much. Again, it's CompuKiss.com. You can check out our website and for all of the things that we talked about tonight, and you can read them all there at her website. Sandy Berger, again, we'll I guess stay with us, Dan, because we'll have a little after the show bit that we do.
All right, everybody, come visit me on CompuKiss.
Yes, CompuKiss.com. Check it out. All the articles are there. All the products and actually a lot more is there, including the Windows 8 cheat sheet is up there as well.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. All right, so coming up tomorrow, and again, I can't get to my calendar, but I do know we're going to have Gene Steinberg. And he's going to be talking about the iPhone 6, and he's going to talk about Yosemite. That's going to be a fun show, and we'll talk about that in the first hour. And then Charles and I will be doing computer technology news. Brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can check them out at slimwareutilities.com. This about wraps it up. Charles, so glad to have you back. And, I'm
not back. I'm just here for the free punch and pie.
That's it. And the cattle.
And the cattle.
Okay.
The wireless cattle.
The wireless, but mine are wired. So we will see you tomorrow night. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy.
Or wired to your other cow.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right, so we're off of Blog Talk Radio, and yeah, what is it with this? I'm gonna say goodnight, everybody in the chat. Night, all. See you tomorrow, and we're gone out of the chat room. So yeah, so anyway, Sandy, I want to thank you again. Charles, I'm going to figure this out after you leave, but thanks for being here with that great stuff. And again, CompuKiss.com, and we'll see you next time, next month, Sandy.
Next month. It's been fun.
All right,
Good
take
night.
care. Bye-bye.
All right, Sandy.